welcome back to a brand new video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If you're a new subscriber, or if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Faith. In this series, I share with you my fat loss 5-week challenge. In this video, I'm going to dive into why I chose to have a fat loss challenge for 5 weeks, and also I'm going to share with you tips that can help you start your fat loss challenge. Also to tell you when it's not suitable for you to have a fat loss challenge. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first thing when it comes to fat loss, you have to understand the basic principles. What is fat loss in the first sense? Fat loss is when you lose fat. There's a difference between fat loss and weight loss. Fat loss, you want to reduce the total amount of fat you have on your body by getting into a caloric deficit and continuing with your strength training. The essence of fat loss is to reveal the muscle that might be under the skin if you have a high fat percentage on your body. Last year, 2023, I was on a body recomposition journey, and on that journey I lost 40 pounds. But this year I'm changing my training to basically focus more on fat loss than gaining muscle. Body recomposition is when you train and do your weight loss approach to lose fat and build muscle at the same time. I have a dedicated playlist. If it's your first time hearing this, don't worry, you can get into the description and you can catch up on the previous videos that I've done when it comes to body recomposition. But in this video, we're going to start with why fat loss. Fat loss because I want to reveal some of the muscle I have built. I'm still sitting on a higher fat percentage on my body, and my goal is to make sure that I lose that fat and reveal the muscle that is underneath. That's why I've chosen to do a 5-week fat loss challenge. If I decided to go to the toilet right now and I came back and weighed myself, I'll have a lower body weight because I just used the washroom. But with fat loss, your main goal is basically to lose fat. Weight loss, on the other hand, can include both muscle, water weight, and also fat. So it's a cocktail of everything. My approach is not weight loss. Many of the clients I've coached previously come to me and they tell me, Faith, I've been stepping on my weight scale and my weight is not reducing. Or my weight has reduced, but I'm not seeing the change in how my body looks. That could be you're losing water weight other than losing fat. So there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. Choose what's going to work for you. So the number one reason why I chose to go on a fat loss was because I want to reveal the muscle that I've built over the past year. And I also want to reduce my fat composition on my body. Also, as I mentioned in the first episode of this video, I chose fat loss because I want to kickstart my fitness journey for 2024. I've been meaning to do that, and I was slacking the whole of January and February until I decided to create a challenge for myself. I work so well when it comes to challenges because I have to push myself to meet the goals that I've set. That's why I chose to do a fat loss. So, how am I training on my fat loss? I'm training heavily. Training heavy means that I'm still lifting the same way I was lifting last year, and I am doing 4 days in the gym, upper body 2 days, lower body 2 days, and I walk 10,000 steps every single day. So the first tip when it comes to fat loss is to continue lifting heavy. If you want your fat loss to be smoother, continue weight training, continue strength training. Number 2 is I am doing intermittent fasting. I fast for 18 hours and I use the rest of the 6 hours to eat. Reason why I'm using intermittent fasting, because I want to optimize my insulin levels. I also want to be able to just have a small window in which I can eat. Since I work from home, the pantry is close to me, I can get it anytime and pick a snack or pick something to eat. And because I am on a 5-week fat loss challenge, I have to make sure that I'm disciplined in that aspect, that I only have a given window in which I can eat. So my meals start at 12 p.m. and they end at 6 p.m. or latest 7 p.m. That way, the rest of the hours from 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day, I am doing intermittent fasting. My main goal is to preserve as much muscle as possible on this fat loss challenge. That means I have to continue lifting heavy as I was lifting last year. Tip number 3 is I'm walking 10k steps every single day except for Sunday. Is my rest day where I just do nothing apart from eating, and also mindful of what I'm eating because I don't want to outdo all the hard work I put in the week. I'm mindful of what I'm eating, and I'm eating enough food in the given window that I have to eat. On Sundays, I still do intermittent fasting. I start my meals at 12 p.m. and end at 6 p.m. Number 4, drinking enough water. My goal is to drink 2.8 liters of water every single day. Reason being, I need the water for hydration, and I also need it to curb the hunger. Most of the times when you think you're hungry, it's most possible you're thirsty instead. So try to drink a glass of water before you grab a snack. My sleep schedule has suffered over the years because I'm a mom of 2. I've been working from home, doing my full-time job, and also trying to build my side businesses. So most times I find that I have to trade sleep for what I have to do. But I am intentionally changing my sleep schedule, making sure I get at least 6 hours of sleep every night. Maximum I would want 8. Sometimes I sleep 7, and that's working well. In fact, today is not supposed to be a filming day, but because my husband decided to take out the kids, so I was like, why not let me film this video so that I don't have to work at it tomorrow or later on in the night. So that's giving me time to rest. I slept for 3 hours before I recorded this video, and when I woke up, when my husband said he's taking the kids out to play, I'm like, you know what? Let me get my camera and film this video. So sleep is very important if you want to lose fat. If you optimize your nutrition, your training, your sleep, and the calories you're burning during the day, you are going to see yourself drop fat. There's no way around it. The mindset you use on a fat loss is totally different from a mindset you need on a fat loss challenge, especially when the fat loss challenge is for a given short period of time. My fat loss challenge is for 5 weeks. Reason being, I don't want to scale it so much. I want to evaluate my results after 5 weeks, and if it's working well, I could continue with it. But also I don't want to push it for so long, because if I do push it for so long, I might end up losing the muscle that I built over time. So a 5-week mini cut, as people call it in the fitness industry, is ideal for me because it gives my body something to reset on. Given that the previous 3 months of the year, from December to January, February, I've not been doing anything when it comes to my fitness, this mini cut is just something to kickstart my fitness journey for 2024. That's why I'm on a mini cut for 5 weeks. So let's get into my training. I'm going to show you the workout I did at the gym this previous week.
Grab a cup of coffee, pour it over ice, take it for a walk while we talk about our lives. I just wanna spend some quality time, some quality time. And I don't need a gift, I don't need to know your sign, and we don't need to do something you don't really like. I just wanna spend some quality time, some quality time. But no one ever really gets it. I swear I got the best intentions, cause I'm not really good at saying words, but we can find a way to make it work. What's your favorite kind of movie? It doesn't really matter to me, cause I'm down to do whatever is the mood. Just tell me what I can do to make you mine. Baby, I've been trying to love you the way I do best, so would you just take my hand and let's go. Grab a cup of coffee, pour it over ice, take it for a walk while we talk about our lives. I just wanna spend some quality time, some quality time. And I don't need a gift, I don't need to know your sign, and we don't need to do something you don't really like. I just wanna spend some quality time, some quality time. You can tell me how your day went, and I will listen to the days end. We could grab a dinner at a mom and pop, or spend our wallets at a 5-star spot. Doesn't matter what we're choosing, cause I could just spend all my time with you for all my days. So just tell me how I can make you wanna be mine. Tell me what I can try to love you the way you do best. Can I just take your hand and let's go? There's somebody I look up to, I could only hope to be. If we had the conversation and know exactly what he'd say to me, what he'd say to me. He would say you'll be alright. If you know where to turn to, you'll lose this fight. If you don't ever learn to keep it in balance.
I'm a person who works from home. I love to cook. I love to feed my family whole nutritious meals. Some people it's not the same. If you want to get on a fat loss, you have to make sure you optimize your nutrition. Optimizing your nutrition comes down to getting those exact foods that are going to help you achieve your fat loss. To lose fat, you have to be burning more than what you're consuming. Burning more in the essence of the workouts you do, and also optimizing your nutrition to make sure that your nutrition is providing you those nutrients that are needed to sustain the muscle you have, but also facilitate the fat loss that you want to achieve. So the most important component is to make sure you eat enough protein. I've spoken this over and over again. It has become a song. Eating enough protein is going to keep you satiated for a long period of time. It's going to help you preserve the muscle that you've gained. It's also going to help you in synthesis of new muscle. So aim at eating at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. High dense nutrient foods include foods which are not processed, foods that are grown in the ground, foods that are naturally existing. You get it from the garden, you cut it up, cook it, or you buy your chicken, it's cut, you cook it and eat it. Avoid or reduce the amount of processed foods that you eat. Some processed foods are good. Let's say there are processed foods that are rich in nutrients, especially when it comes to pastas. There are pastas which have been enriched with protein. High, dense protein pastas. You can have those, but minimize processed foods and added sugars. For this 5-week challenge, I'm not drinking sugar, I'm not taking tea, I'm drinking water. Aim at eating foods that are naturally existing. You can eat rolled oats, you can eat sweet potatoes, you can eat rice. I prefer white rice because it's gentle on my tummy. You can decide to eat Irish potatoes or potatoes. Some people call them Irish potatoes, others call them potatoes. Include your vegetables: broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, spinach, silver beet, carrots, legumes such as peas, peanuts, chickpeas, soybeans, edamames. Those are things you should be eating if you want to eat high nutrient dense foods. Also, when it comes to fats, aim at eating fats which are not processed. I like to eat olive oil, a little bit of coconut oil. For protein, I am including a protein shake. Reason why I'm having a protein shake is because I want to make sure that I'm getting enough protein, and I'm including it in such a sense that I make a protein smoothie every time I see that I'm reaching my calorie needs for the day, but I'm not getting in enough protein. For a fat loss to occur, you have to make sure that your calories you're consuming are lesser than the calories you're expending. So if I can have that and have 30 grams of protein in that, I'm good to go, other than consuming a meal that might have the same amount of protein but more calories. So it's helping me stay in my caloric deficit. Let's talk about cardio. On my fat loss, now that I'm starting it, I'm doing basically walking. Reason why I'm walking is because when you walk, you can expend at least 300 calories in a 5 or 6 kilometer walk. That is easier on my joints. It's enjoyable. As I'm walking, I can listen to something that I enjoy, especially a podcast. I can call my family members who are elsewhere in the world. I can just enjoy nature or even pray as I'm doing these walks. I enjoy walking, so that way I'm getting in more steps and also burning more calories because I'm doing a low intensity steady state cardio, other than deciding to run. I know at some point of this fat loss I'm going to run, especially when it gets to week 3 and week 4. I'll be incorporating at least 1 run a week, but I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to do it slowly. Let's talk about weighing myself. I weighed myself at the start of this fat loss. I have an idea of my weight, but I'm not obsessing about the weight loss when I step on the scale. So I'm not weighing myself in that essence. I'm looking at how my clothes are fitting. You can weigh yourself every single week, especially if you're starting your fat loss and it's your first time you're doing it. But weighing yourself every single day is going to mess up with your mental health, because some days you see your weight dropping, some days you see your weight increasing. So if it's something that you want to do, let's say for a mini cut, you can weigh yourself at least 3 times a week and find the average of that weight. If you see that you are not losing weight to the extent that you want, you can scale back on your nutrition and reduce some of the meals that you're eating, and in that process you'll be able to see that that plateau is broken and you're achieving the fat loss that you want. For me, I am weighing my waist circumference, weighing my shoulder width and also weighing my hips to see any difference when it comes to the measurements that I have. That would be a better way to tell that my fat loss is working, other than stepping on a scale and taking the weight. Let's talk about when to know that you're ready for fat loss. I'm going to give you 4 points. Number 1, you're ready for fat loss when you feel you're mentally prepared for fat loss challenge. Fat loss is not easy. It's not a walk in the park. Because fat loss may mean you need to optimize your nutrition, you have to be mindful of what you're consuming, you have to be mindful of how much calories you're expending every single day, and sometimes it can take a toll on your mental health. So when to know that you're ready for fat loss, you have to make sure that your mindset is set for fat loss. With fat loss, you might find that your energy at the gym will be reduced. You might find yourself being hungry food-wise, and angry, feeling tired, feeling lazy, feeling you're worn out at the end of the day. So that can take a toll on your mental health. To know you're ready for fat loss, look at the reason as to why you want to achieve fat loss. I've seen many clients when they want to go for a holiday, a vacation, they have 6 weeks to go on vacation, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds for me to get to a vacation looking snatched, looking good. That's not possible if you want to do it in a very sustainable and achievable way. Meaning, pace yourself when you're getting into a fat loss. Create a schedule and think about in such a sense, how many weeks do I want to have before I can achieve the results that I want to achieve? If it's going on a holiday, you should start your fat loss at least 10 to 12 weeks before you go on a holiday. That will give you enough time to achieve the goals that you're setting, other than rushing it in 4 weeks or in 3 weeks or in 2 weeks. I've seen so many YouTube videos. Someone tells you, I lost 20 kilograms, which are 40 pounds or so, in 1 month. You're looking at it and you're like, did you really lose 40 kilograms in 1 month in a healthier way? The goal is usually to lose at least 1 pound per week, or if it's very aggressive, 1.5 pounds per week. So pace yourself depending on the duration you have to concentrate on your fat loss. Number 2 is you feel you've done everything else, but you're not achieving the results that you want to achieve. That means you might be ready to go on a fat loss, especially if you've been training for a long time, or let's say a year. As I've mentioned, I've been training for a year, and my entire year was concentrating more on building muscle, which muscle I have, but it's still not being visible because I have a layer of fat that is still lingering on my body. So I already know what to do. I can get onto a fat loss and evaluate my progress. The reason why I'm having a shorter fat loss challenge, which is 5 weeks, it's because I know in 5 weeks I'll look back and analyze everything that I would have done and see if it's in my favor or not in my favor. If it's in my favor, then I can continue for another 5 weeks, or if it's not in my favor, I can go back to the drawing board and evaluate my progress when it comes to that fat loss journey. Number 3 is, are you sleeping right? You are not going to achieve your fat loss results if your sleep is not optimized. If you're not sleeping enough, it's going to be hard for you to lose fat. I love you, but I have to tell you this fact. If you want to get into a fat loss and you're doing everything to the book, but your sleep is not optimized, your body is going to struggle to shed those layers of fat. Ideally, aim at getting 6 to 8 hours or even 10 hours of sleep every night. I work from home. Sometimes when I put my daughter to sleep, I can squeeze in an hour nap, and it's good because as you sleep, your food cravings will reduce. You'll end up consuming lesser food than when you're awake. Do you find yourself that when you stay awake for a longer period of time, you end up snacking more? It's because your body is trying to compensate for that sleep that it's missing, and it results into you wanting to eat more snacks, grabbing something to eat. The next point I want to talk about is optimize nutrition. If you've optimized your nutrition but you're not seeing the results that you want, it might be ideal for you to get onto a fat loss challenge. Meaning, with a fat loss challenge, you concentrate more on optimizing your nutrition further by zeroing down to what you're eating, keeping a food log, looking on what foods you eat every single day, looking at how those foods are helping your body, looking at what nutrients you're getting in, looking at your macros, looking at the calories. My feeding and nutrition has come a long way. I used to weigh my food, I used to use MyFitnessPal, and I love it. But over the years, I've learned how much food I need to eat to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. So if you're starting out on your fat loss journey and you don't know what to do, it may be ideal for you to get MyFitnessPal and weigh out your food, measure out how much food you're eating, and also you can decide to meal prep. Because with meal prep, that means you'll have your meals prepared. All you have to do is to portion them in the different Tupperware or glassware and put them in your fridge. You grab the meal, you know it has 400 calories, you eat that, and dinner you grab the next meal and you eat it 400 calories. That way you can achieve your goals. There's so many YouTubers that I've seen who do meal prep. I'll leave a few channels that you can get to, but for me, I love to meal plan. Meal plan comes down to knowing that these are the meals I want to eat in the week, and I can prepare them as the week goes by, because that works for me, and I like to eat fresh food that I've cooked, and I love cooking. But if you don't love cooking, meal prep could be an important component in your fat loss journey. It will take away the guesswork when it comes to choosing what to eat, and you already have ready to eat meals in your fridge that you can pick out and eat as the week goes by. So those are the points that I want you to consider when it comes to fat loss. Your sleep, how much protein you're getting in, what's the reason behind your fat loss, and optimize nutrition. If you've done everything else and you're failing, those can be the points that you can use to help you lose fat. Fat loss is possible, especially when you decide to do it with these points. Knowing the basics when it comes to fat loss is going to help you have a smoother fat loss journey, other than obsessing about the number that you see on the scale. So be realistic when it comes to your fat loss. How much weight do you want to lose in 5 weeks? In 5 weeks, I want to lose at least 10 pounds. 10 pounds in 5 weeks is ideal. I can end up losing at least 2 pounds every week. That's because it's a bit aggressive. But if I'm not losing 10 pounds and I lose 8, I'll still be happy because I'll have achieved something. So it's about being realistic on how your goals are. If you don't want to measure your foods every single day, you have to be eating intuitively. And if you're eating intuitively, some days you might overestimate the calories you've eaten, some days you might underestimate the calories you've eaten. So it's about just learning how your body reacts when you eat the food, how you feel after workout, how many steps you're getting in. I'm using my Apple Watch to track the steps that I take every day. I've been averaging between 10,000 to 12,000 steps every single day, and that's ideal for fat loss, because every 10,000 to 12,000 steps, I can burn at least 300 calories on top of my nutrition deficit. As I finish this video, I want to tell you that for you to achieve fat loss, focus more on your nutrition. It's 80% nutrition and 20% the effort you're going to put it in exercise. So if your nutrition is optimized to the level that you want it, eating your carbs, eating your protein, eating your fats, eating your vegetables, drinking enough water, and getting in the micronutrients, you're going to achieve that fat loss swiftly. And you won't even have to think about it. You look at yourself and like, oh yeah, I'm getting the results because I have focused on things that I can control. You can control how much food you're eating, but you can't control how much weight you're going to lose at the end of the day. So have that mindset of optimizing your nutrition, optimizing your workouts, and letting the rest of the things work out in your favor. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's beautiful that I'm doing this challenge, and fitness is something I love to talk about on my channel. If you want one-to-one help when it comes to accountability, kickstarting your fitness journey, wanting to lose body fat, wanting to establish a routine that is going to work for you, there's always a link in the description of my episodes. You can get me there, get onto a chat, and I can help you kickstart your fitness and wellness journey. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day. Catch you in the next video.